Hello, and welcome back to our playthrough of the Auroran storyline in Escape Velocity Nova. So, when we last left off, we had just completed a successful raid on the Sol system, blowing up several Federation shipping convoy ships. And now we are just hanging out in Heron. I believe we are supposed to head up the bar to see what the next thing they want us to do is. True to form. So, Tekarok and Kurin allow you very little time to rest before sending you and your team out on another mission. Kurin grins. The pirates are being torn by internal strife. What pirates? And the old balance of power among them has begun to shift. We must know what is going on up to the galactic north. My spies report there is a new player on the patch. I assume soccer patch. I'm sending you to meet him, and Bizarra is to meet with his immediate enemy, the notorious McGowan. It is important that you get a feel for this fellow called, what is this, Eric? With an I? E-I-R-I-C? He continues earnestly. McGowan we can deal with because we know that he has very little honor and wants only for riches and power. His kind are easy to anticipate. This Eric may be a different man altogether. I think this may be a man we can count on. I think they're missing a period and a space here. Tarak would be going himself, but he is headed off on important business. So Nauda has requested that you go in his stead. I don't have to tell you how important this mission is, Quran finishes offhandedly, so don't muff it or I'll kick your backside till it's blue. Your pack won't be going with you, as they'll be going on missions of their own. The game is afoot, my friend. It may be, and soon it will be time to play for the entire box and dice. This guy's like idiom heavy way of speaking does make it a little bit of a pain to read from. You're beginning to plan what you'll do when you find this Eric, when Quran continues. The Moashi have become just a little suspicious of the increase in activity on our behalf, and apparently there is much talk about you in their bars and stations. Be careful, he cautions. You have become something of a marked man. Many young warriors will try for you just to make a name for themselves. It is important that you remain alive. You are important to the future of the house, and your dying would put a serious crimp in our plans. So play it smart and don't get dead. Don't get dead, yeah. Karlakar said that you had a good head for battle, so use it and don't get sucked into any traps. Go to Viking in the Tichel system and go meet this Eric. Find his political leanings. Probe him, but don't look too obvious. Report back to me when you're done. Is this maybe like the stand-in for the player? Because you're not doing the pirate campaigns, they have this NPC go through the motions. That'd be interesting. I don't think it's true, but that'd be interesting. Or is this just Grey Shoulders? What's with all the Argosy? Oh, they're part of the mission, I take it. Black Dragons. Okay, I'm not going to die to Argosy. I refuse. These things are pathetic. Despite being an Auroran ship, they're just bad. But staying inside chain gun fire is going to be my downfall, and it's such a silly mistake to make. So no. We are not going to do that. We're going to use our range to our advantage, and we can't board the ships. That is a story-related ship. Alright, good. The rest have been blown up. Let's try to avoid the Velos, because I don't want to die. And we'll just sneak in here. We should be good to go. Alright, you meet with Eric in a small bar. You talk for many hours over ales, and you find him to be an honorable man. I mistrust the Federation, he comments shrewdly, and would love to see their downfall. I have been running supplies for the rebellion for months, and will continue to do so. Eventually I will fight for them, when the war between the Auroran Empire and the Federation is over, and the Federation has ceased to exist in its present form. So yeah, this is kind of like the standard for the player, it looks like. On the topic of McGowan, Eric becomes pale, with controlled rage as he tells you that one day he will kill McGowan to avenge the death of his parents. Yeah, yep. So if you want to see things from this Eric character's perspective, go back and watch the Pirate campaign, because it's exactly this. You do not press him further. If there is one thing an Auroran warrior understands, it is vengeance. Before too long, the hours have passed, and you both head for your ships. Eric tells you that he would like to forge better relations with the Aurorans, and if doing so begins with House Heron, then so be it. You leave with a deep feeling of promise for the future, and we'll take the opportunity to go into the outfitters here and see if there's any good pirate tech to snap up. Definitely does not seem to be the case. There's nothing interesting in the bar, so let's head back on out. So interesting. I had not appreciated until now that they have that kind of stand-in for the player. Also, if you press what was that, H? You can bring up the mini-map. And there's a way to select like how to jump from that map. I just don't know it offhand. I'm too familiar with just pressing M and then tapping to where I want to go. And I think I'll continue to do that. Alright. Tekarok hands you another drink, and you take a long swig. I want this one to be your last, Wolf. He waves at the drink in your hand, since I have an honor to bestow upon you. Tomorrow our fleets will head out in secret to attack the Moash. Ordinarily, I would lead one fleet and Kurin the other. Since so much has gone into preparation for this attack, and the opportunity is so great to deal a mortal blow to the Federation, Kurin wants to keep an eye on both fleets. Subsequently, we are one commander short, or were, until I gave you command of the other fleet. You feel your mouth fall open, and Tekarok grins at you. I had a feeling about you when we first met, and I'm glad to know I was right. I want you to lead the Second Fleet and take her to Auroran Listening Post 1 in the SPC 1421 system and wipe out the Moash there. Once you do, the engineers will jump in and start sending back false signals. Sounds easy? Do you want to go? Excellent. So this is actually a side mission from an earlier thing. Remember when we went to steal Federation technology? This is one of the missions. It's a continuation off of that. I thought we were ineligible because we had proceeded too far with the main storyline, but it does not appear to be the case. Good for you, Tekarok shakes your hand. Commanding a fleet is an interesting proposition. If Kurin thinks that you are in trouble, he'll send instructions to by burst transmission. I don't know what that is. But I have a feeling that you'll do well for yourself. Each of the ships will have a transmission jammer installed, including yours, but the techs have performed some sort of miracle to allow our coded burst signals through the jamming. The only problem is, we don't have time to test it. So if everything goes off the air, just do the best you can. Congratulations on your first fleet, young wolf. You shake Tekarok's hand and soon head home to sleep. You're going to need all the energy you can. Next day, you're jumping out. Alright, very exciting. So I believe we have a fleet of carriers for this one. We're going to go up to Listening Post 1, which is this guy up here. So we'll probably just jump to either to Chell. No, we'll jump to Cania and go down that way. But let's see if our fleet jumps in. I believe it's carriers. Oh no, it's cruisers. That's fine, those are still good. The cigarette-shaped ships. And they have the rotating center to provide artificial gravity. It's very 2001 A Space Odyssey. I kind of like it. So, amusingly enough, we're using the Federation to ferry ships through, and we're actually going to be, you know, if it mattered, jumping in probably from the same staging area that they are coming from. But since all the systems are like compartmentalized, it doesn't actually matter where you jump in from. It would be cool though. So we're going to go down to 1x speed, and we're just going to be careful to... Oh, they're only Moash Abominations. I am not concerned. Alright, well done. And there's a pirate here, who is very quickly going to turn into a debris field. So, that was a piece of cake. Now the real challenge, landing on these tiny little listening posts. Alright, the Moash fleet has been utterly destroyed. You call that a fleet? And the transmission jammer worked better than expected. No transmission from Heron were able to get through to you, and you have a suspicion that the regular reports you sent back did not go through either. However, Kurin is happy with the result and is proud of the way that you led your men. The engineers have already half-built the dummy listening post, and the signals pumping out of the engineering ships have been decoded to make the Moash think that the signals are coming from the listening post. All you have to do now is wait for the word to send the coded signals to the Federation fleet. The IFF projector, or the Liar Box, as it become known, has been tested in ship-to-ship transmissions, but you hope that it works over long distances. It should enable you to lure the Federation into the trap. The transmission jammer will deny them the ability to call for help, and they will die in their thousands. It will be a great day for the Huron. The time finally arrives for the signal to be sent, and you give the order. You can feel the excitement build up in the men around you. The Federation fleet signals back the all clear, and all over the fleet men spring to their battle stations. The Federation are going to be very surprised. In the final communication between you and Kurin, he wishes you luck and tells you to return to Heron when all the Federation ships have been destroyed. Alright, so now we get to turn ourselves loose on the Federation as well, and there they are. Oh, we've both jumped in the same It's a corner of space. This is going to be a close quarters battle. Turn it down to 1x speed. Try to draw a little bit of fire from my fleet so they have time to turn around. And just we're gonna hammer them. Alright, so at the very least we forced a retreat. I'm not sure that's sufficient as far as for the purposes of the mission, but it will have to do for now. Or I'll land and take off again and have them jump in again. It seems to have been sufficient. Unfortunately, we did not, get quite as many as would have been nice. These listening posts. Still too far away. Upon entering the bridge of your ship, you notice the flashing message light. You quickly enter your voice print and scan. Curran informs you that the Moashi have begun to push against the outer systems of Harani space. There are distress messages flooding in from various points, and that you're required to head to Heron with all possible speed. You blast away from the spaceport, breaking a number of outbound traffic laws as you do so, but you don't care. You have a lot of space to cover, and not much time to do it. So I believe we now have two missions. Got a tab. I missed it. Oh well, they knew what to do. Alright, so I think the easiest way to get back is, again, going to go up to Cania and take the hypergates. But wow, such an effective fleet. It's great. Now we'll turn in 2 missions at once. So that confirms we are on a side mission string, because otherwise you can never have 2 missions at once. Yeah, we're going to jump out of here before there's serious trouble. Hypergates make life easier. Better living through science. There are hordes of screaming warriors everywhere, and the chaos reigns supreme on the space dock. Men and women from the 2 fleets mix and mingle, finding their friends and telling their triumph. Tattooing lasers are being applied to skin left, right, and center, and no one can remember such a victory ever occurring before. Not only have the Huron defeated the 2 Federation battle fleets, but they have defeated 2 Moash fleets as well. Tekarak ushers you aside and tells you that he has never seen the spirit of the house so high, and that it was through your efforts that the victory could take place. You feel tears spring to your eyes as Tekarak tells you that a tattoo will be struck in memory of this day, and the wolf will feature prominently on it. The feasting and drinking goes long into the night, and starts again the next day. It is some time before you are able to relax. Victory is sweet. Alright, and so it says that we're going to wait several days, but this was an urgent message, so once again, we land amidst a great amount of confusion this time. Warriors are openly weeping, and most stand with bowed heads, so we've gone from warriors are celebrating to warriors are weeping. As you push through the crowd, you hear muttering of disbelief and despair. You find Savard, Jazura, and Bizarra. Bizarra turns to you and pulls you into an embrace. I have bad news, brother. He pulls you closer. Tekarak is dead. You feel your heart skip a beat. Tekarak? Dead? For a moment you cannot think. Then the cool, hard rage fills you. How? You force through clenched teeth. We weren't even sure ourselves, Savard tells you, but Curran will only speak to us when the pack is all here. You were the furthest away, so you have also been the last to arrive. The others are waiting outside the bar. She is sobbing and steps into your arms. You hold her for a moment and then push her away. Let's go, you say as you force the sadness down inside. The sooner we talk to Curran, the sooner we can find out the scum who did this and have our revenge. So let's go find out. Curran meets you all just inside the entrance of the hall. He looks very weary and strangely joyous. He meets your look of pain and despair with a wry smile. Why the long faces? Did he die a coward? The shock of what Curran says stops you in your tracks. I guess you don't yet know how, so I'll tell you and let you all decide for yourselves. The Mashi fleet you all rushed to stop was only sent for him, and the fool knew it. So what does he do? He speeds to meet them. He gave them an excellent account of himself, making a mockery of the Moashi best. By the time he fell, the Moash had lost 20 fighters, a cruiser, and a carrier. All this he did while even facing their Mundakir. Yes, my brother, the Moashi sent to the Eye of Fury to claim him. So tell me this, who has found peace in the Hall of Heroes, and who still has the Lion's work out for them? Their lines were cut out for them, so that can be us. Kern smiles sadly. Yes, I'll miss the man a great deal, and unfortunately all of our plans must wait until we find a new Thurokir. And that is why I waited for you all to return. Fascinating. You know how Thurokir is chosen. Tradition is tradition. I offer you the office of Thurokir, if you desire it. Do battle above the heart of our house. The winner shall be the new arbiter to avenge the deaths of Tarak the Bloody Hammer. Those who have the spirit of the fight, fly out, and may your wits be sharp. Your ships have been modified. You'll be able to kill each other, but anyone who kills another can never be chosen, for this battle is about skill and honor, not death. Though death may follow the victor soon enough after this day. You turn and stare at your battle brothers and sisters in surprise. When Birchie the Cold Death pushes you out of the way as he heads for the door. Come on, he calls over his shoulder. I have waited a long time to see how good you are, Car Halarn. Car Halarn. You will get a run for your money. Oh, by the way, good luck. You chase after him and prepare for battle. So I'm tempted to sell my fusion pulse batteries, because that's probably how we would accidentally destroy these guys. So I'm going to sell both of them. I forgot we got an outfit from doing the side mission, and apparently it takes up 3 tons, so we won't be able to buy back both of those later. But that's okay. So we're going to be fighting exclusively with railguns, which, if you know me, is exactly how I like things. Just because we can outrange them, they're going to waste missiles, they're going to waste time, and I am going to disable some ships. Yeah, they're not very good. If this is my pack, ladies and gentlemen, in all of their glory, question mark, and all of their incompetence is more like it. Like, they're not even do they even have guns? I have no idea what they're doing. All I know is it's pathetic. And yet, even then, somehow I managed to lose. Okay, so let's try that again. So they come out guns blazing, and they're going to waste all of their missiles in the first several seconds. And then it's shooting ducks in a barrel. Alright, we need to sell the larger chain gun. Or the larger rail gun, rather. It does too much damage. What a shame. Alright, so this will, as a consequence, take longer, but at least, you know, we can succeed easily. I can just hold down the space bar, they're going to run out of missiles again. Oh, and they're actually attacking this time. So let's not just sit here and take fusion pulse fire. So I guess the reason they weren't before is they were being pushed back at such a rate by my large railgun that they were having trouble. But now there is no such issue, and they are really, like, fully coming after me here. I like how they're diving in to get pot shots and then slipping away. It's very clever. Again, mission failed. Ah. Okay. Alright. We'll strike a balance yet. Oh my. I did not anticipate that. I did not anticipate them to be just waiting above the planet. I expected them to have to jump in again. But does not matter. Just gotta be careful. One of the patrol ships come to scan me. I don't want to blow them up. But at the same time, like, come on, I don't want to blow you up. Just get out of the way. Alright. I see you coming in from the side. Not gonna work. They're clever. They're crafty. I am not disappointed, I have to say. I am actually pseudo-impressed. I don't remember this being so difficult. Oh my. It's a lot of missiles. I'm just being chased down and destroyed here. So we're going to first rocket away from the planet at all due speed. And now we're going to try to do this right. They are just relentless. Alright, here we go. This is working a little bit better. As long as I keep targeting the ones that are about to try to duck in and fire, I think I can manipulate them into chilling out. Trick is when they start getting low, I have to start burst firing them to avoid destroying them. I'm just going to drift for a little bit, get out of range of the one that's been disabled. Make sure that every time they're coming in, they're getting immediately hit, so they retreat. Gotta get this one without disabling them. Or without destroying them. We having fun yet? I hate disabling duels, I really do. Similarly, there's another mission where you have to do... Oh, it's also in the Auroran storyline. It's one of the offshoot side missions where you have to capture and destroy... Or destroy and board... Not destroy and board, brain, come on. Disable and board a Federation allied manticore, and the most aggravating thing about it is, like, you're not supposed to destroy it, so at that point in the game, you are this absurdly strong Auroran warrior, and it's really hard not to just blow up every ship you fight. But it's all about finesse. I appreciate that. I understand that. We're going to try to handle it with finesse, because we will inevitably want to do it. I want to try to show the most complete assessment of each of the storylines, so I'm not going to want to skip anything, if possible. Okay, there's one. Gonna change direction so we don't end up hitting the other one with stray fire. I'm just gonna pulse it down. Not you, you still have shields. But this one, just pulse it down slowly. Disabled? Not quite. There you go. And now we have to maneuver for a little bit to buy time regaining some of our shields. This one has been clever. It's been staying at the back, so it has still 70% shields. Okay, I think this is the last one. 4 or 5, yep. You are so lucky. If I didn't have to worry about destroying you, this would not have taken that long. Okay, so just going to check real quick before I land that I have not failed the mission. Good. And now we can just enjoy the fruits of our labor. That took far longer than it probably should have. Alright, you land, feeling strange, wishing Thurokok, or Tekarok, there we go, was here to confer with. You are now Thurokir of House Heron. In so becoming, you realize that you could have killed your closest friends. The impact of that hits you. You head into the throng of screaming warriors. You are carried shoulder high into the Great Hall, and proclaimed the new Thurokir by the Council of Elders. You are informed that everything the Heron House has is now available to you, including every single type of ship they produce. You are cheered at the thought of finally being able to purchase the capital ships you have always dreamt of. I do not dream of this ship. This thing is a shopping cart full of rocks. However, your thoughts are quickly tempered when you realize the awesome responsibility of being the moral and ethical ruler of the house, and now sits squarely upon your shoulders. In the resulting celebration, it takes more than the usual number of Boilermakers to leaven your heavy mood. You drink to the memory of Tekarah and to the success of House Heron. Savard takes you home, and you are more than a little surprised that she doesn't leave. At some point in the night, she tells you that she would have had you easily if she didn't harbor feelings for you. That is why you are the arbiter, for you can make your heart as black as obsidian. I cannot, for it will always hold thoughts of you. You pull her closer to you. Not as black as you think, you whisper. For long I have had feelings for you. You embrace, and all too soon dawn arrives. So I think that's 6 times we've talked now. Despite the night before, you are unable to eat, and a bleakness has settled on your spirit. For so long, Tekarok has been a rock to which you were able to anchor yourself. So did the whole house, you realize with a frown. Leaving Savar to sleep, you stalk silently from the room, heading towards Thurok's quarters to go through his personal effects. Kuran told you of the tradition, but you dread the task. You feel as if it will place Turok forever beyond your reach, but you feel that is why the new Thurokir must do so they can fully carry the mantle of responsibility. You enter the dim confines of Tekarok's unit and are surprised to see a holo projector with a note attached to it. You pick it up and initiate its sequencer, and suddenly Tekarok comes to life before your eyes. Hello, mi boyo. He smiles at you, and you feel the tears leap unbidden to your eyes. Well, I guess I've died. And my hunch about the Moash was right. Damn, I still want to be there when we marched on to victory. Ah well, I'll save you a spot at my table in the Hall of Heroes. Now down to business. I have become very concerned about the number of our vessels being pulled away for duty on the border. Theoretically, all the houses defended equally, but lately their quests for Harani ships have increased significantly. It is starting to leave us undermanned in the inner systems. Now, if I have died, all the warriors have gathered here. Our enemies will either attack our borders now, or wait for our lads and lassies to return to their far-flung posts and then make a strike on Heron itself. Now that you are the arbiter, you have to carry the weight of the whole house on your shoulders. Don't fret. I made sure your shoulders were wide enough. You must determine which of the 2 theories is true and then act upon it. So much is at stake now. The most are as slippery as eels, as cunning as Cutter House rats. They know we are making a push, and they have plans to foil us. If they win, then the Harani will cease to exist. They will blast us into atoms, leaving only dogs to lick at their heels. Don't let that happen. Now I know you feel like you can't... Now I know that you don't feel like you can succeed, boy, but don't worry. Neither did I, when I was in your place. Just remember, I have faith in you. I know that you will lead us to victory. When we are the first house, unite the Aurorans. You will have the wits to do it, for I have seen it in you. Unite us and lead us to victory. Tekarak's image fades, and you are alone once more. Alright. You sit and think for a long time. By the time you emerge from Tekarak's quarters, you've changed in yourself. You've taken the Harani cause to your heart to make Tekarak's wishes into facts. First, you have to investigate the number of Harani ships on the Auroran border. Then you can at least form a strategy. From the communications bunker, you send out a subspace message to Hune in Remerta, asking if he could spend some time with you on a little jaunt. The next stop is the bar, where you slap awake Bazera, Syntax, Brunchy, and Jazura. You send them to man the main spaceways into Harani space as a precaution. Next, you inform Kuran that your oathing ceremony will have to wait, as you have too much to do. He is much amused by your precociousness. You wake Savard and tell her that both of you must leave, unfortunately in opposite directions. Her face drops, but you remind her that it is her duty and yours to the House Haran. She lifts her face stoically, and you kiss her lightly before leaving for the communications bunker. After a few minutes of waiting, Hoon replies that he is more than happy to share your company for some time, and that he will meet you in Remerta. With that, you head to the dock. The roar of your engine barely covers the roar of the Harani warriors as their new Thurokir heads for his first duty. Alright, fantastic. And I think that is where we are going to call it for this episode. Let's just take a quick look at our honors and accolades, because it should now say, yep, Thurokir of the Heron House, as well as Kar Halarn. So that's kind of neat. I believe we also have an associated salary. Yep, 900 credits a day. And so it'll slowly replenish our bank account if we just, keep flying around. But for now, that will do it. So thank you for joining me. If you like this kind of content, please leave a like or leave a comment down below telling me what you liked. And if you want more of it, consider subscribing or going back and watching some of the older playlists where we've done some of the other storylines. And as always, until next time, I hope you have a good one.